if we could have a motion to begin the meeting at 9 a.m.
So moved. Is Hester there?
I see her, but she's muted, so maybe not yet. I think we can go ahead anyway.
Okay.
We'll wait a few minutes. So there's been a motion to start the meeting.
At 9 a.m.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. So hopefully Hester will join us pretty soon. Well, welcome, Jill.
Thank
Really
you.
excited to have you.
Happy to be here.
Yes, and you're now receiving emails correctly, yes?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Morning, Hester, you're muted. You're muted, Hester. Oh,
Now
there
I'm
you
not.
are.
Yeah, I
No.
couldn't undo it, but now it did. Okay, sorry.
Good morning. No worries.
So we
We're all
started the meeting at 9 for your notes.
Yeah, I was on. You didn't know I was on. Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, so really glad to have you join us. Bob checked in yesterday about whether to be here, and I said he had completed his service and thanked him greatly. And he and I and Shannon are meeting this afternoon to go over the property tax relief job that he was doing. So I'll see him again today. So first on our list is the approval of minutes from June 11. I didn't have any comments. Well, there were a few, but they got circulated a while back. So no changes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So,
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And the treasurer's report? Any questions, comments?
Jill, I don't know if I got you that. I was still doing Brock.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't see that one. I just saw the minutes.
So I can resend to you later.
Okay.
I had 4 things I wanted to note on this month's treasurer's report. One is that we received $13,000 from the town's trustees of donations, so that account is now refilled. The second is that the CMLP is getting close to where we need to request funds from CMLP. Last year, we received $10,000 in September from them. And I don't know who reaches out. I think Bob was in the past.
It was Bob. Yes.
So we'll ask him this afternoon who we reach out to.
I know it's Ann Stevens, I think is who he was reaching out.
I don't think she's there. They've changed the,
Thank you, Lucy.
yeah.
Okay, I'll ask Bob.
Okay, and I think the third thing I wanted to say is that I look back at a year ago, and our distributions for this year for Hugh Cargill Trust and the CMLP are remarkably close to what we did last year. So I would assume that the $10,000 from CMLP is an adequate request because we're running quite similar to what we did the year before.
I don't think that since I've been on the committee, that's always been true. But I also don't know the answer to the question of what happens if it isn't, whether there's only one request per year or if we would be able to return late in the year if we feel like we're going to be short. So I'll ask Bob if he knows that also.
As well. And then the third thing is there were 4 small donations to the HCT fund this month. So those are the highlights of this month's treasurer's report. Are there any other questions?
I'll just say one comment on the small donations. I know of someone who's put Hugh Cargill Trust as a request after her death.
Wow.
I know this person personally, so very nice.
That's amazing. Wow.
Involved with the HCT, so.
Okay.
So our first matter is to welcome Jill, which we did.
We need to approve.
We'll do it again. Maybe it would, I was thinking this morning, and I apologize, I was away for the holiday weekend and I am just, oh, yes?
We did not approve the treasurer's report.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. So a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you. So that's an example of, I've been away. I'm completely off my game. I was with a big pile of family and didn't think about anything except enjoying company. So, um, so that, yes, anyway, so I thought this morning that there's a lot of sort of coming up to speed for you, Jill, that probably would really help if you and I got together. I can transfer a lot of our documents to you so you can, read up on the committee. Um, I noticed one of the things on our agenda today is the calendar, which we're going to move the review of it to another meeting because normally I would have sent that document in advance so people had a chance to look at it and think about it and discuss it. It's um, I use the calendar each month to remind me of what we have going on for the meeting that month and the upcoming month. So we're always kind of making sure we're getting things done. Um, so offline, we'll figure out a time to get together and I can bring you like a thumb drive or something and just kind of go over things, answer questions, stuff like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Um, so the new member roles, we've been talking about this since May. Um, and I, we, we're supposed to change roles every year. Since I've been on the committee, that's never happened, not for any of the roles. And it's not a hard rule. And I think sometimes for me anyway, the first year in a role is learning and the second year in the role is doing. So I'm not opposed, and I think we have the flexibility to allow us to stay in a role for a little longer if we want to, if it just seems like the makeup of the committee makes sense to do that, or we might just have a personal preference, things like that. So I was pushing pretty hard for us to change these roles. In May, it was time for one of our members to roll off and a new one to come on. And then it just seemed like that wasn't the right path. So what I thought we would do is take another month of August, and then in September, when we have our first in-person meeting, we can kind of do a brainstorm on these different roles. We can talk about, oh, sorry. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to turn that off. Um, oh, no, I don't even know how to turn it off. Go away. Okay. Um, when we're in person, I think we'll be a lot more productive also, which we've decided we would start doing in September. And we can talk about the different roles in the committee and what they do. And we've created drafts for those roles, which are sort of an in-process documents right now. And Jill, your background is going to be really key for us to um, um, improving the definitions and the responsibilities of each of the roles. And then we also have taken on the property tax relief as a job, which used to be a very informal thing between Dinny, who was on the committee, the property tax relief committee, which is no longer. It's been merged to our committee. So there's just a lot of really, I don't know, interesting, juicy conversation about our roles that we can tackle in September. And then in advance of that, I can send out all of the draft roles to everyone. We can really take some time to think about them, get together, and decide as a committee how we want to make sure everything that our committee does is getting done really well. Let's see, I made myself a bunch of notes. Yeah, so
That's a great idea. I just would like to.
Oh, thank you,
up there and
Hester.
say, it makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, and it's been pretty, I mean, we do have specific roles. There's a chair, a treasurer, an intake person, and a clerk. But we have a lot of other jobs that we might decide we want to include in a role. So the property tax relief, for example, or the silent fund, or CMLP, or trustees of town donations, the annual appeal. That's a huge job every year, and it's been very sort of um, um, people have just kind of pitched into it, but no one's really led the way since Dinny it was, you know what? We can do all of this in September. I have a
Okay.
million thoughts about all the different jobs. So I will put that on our agenda for September, and then sometime, maybe even after this meeting, I'll just send out the materials we have and people can just look at them at their leisure before the September meeting.
So Elizabeth, one thing, I know I was refining the intake position, and so please don't send out what you have at this point, because I have revised it again. And so I'd rather have a more updated description that really tells a story. So if you
That's sure, yep, that's true. You know what, how about we make it August 1st? If I have, whatever I have, August 1st, I'll send out. Does that make sense?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. And that way, if anybody wants to update theirs any more than they have already, there's, several weeks to do it. Okay. And then we briefly talked about the calendar. Again, I'm gonna, you know what, we can have that one in August, I guess. One of the things that I did on the calendar that I changed, which I probably shouldn't have done without, sort of getting people's opinions, was I made June, July, and August executive session only, so that we'd have a chance to take a break for the summer when there's really not a lot going on. But we definitely don't want to have our applicants wait. But anyways, that's okay. We'll put the calendar on for August. That'll be the only thing on our agenda. Got a cold from my 7-month-old grandson.
Mhm.
And yeah, I took care of him a lot over the weekend so my daughter and her husband could get a break. So anyway, he's very generous. Last on our agenda for the public meeting is the property tax relief update. So I'm just gonna step in for Bob. We do have one applicant this month, and we'll chat more during executive session. And I think that's what he used to do. He would just tell us if there was one.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep, so we do. We have one. That is our meeting, our public meeting for today.
Perfect.
Okay, well, does everyone have the Zoom link for the executive session?
Yeah.
Not sure. Where was,
Okay, it
In
would
the
have been
same
an email.
Yeah.
There was an email from Shannon that just had that.
okay, I'm sure I have it then.
You want to make sure before we get offline? Because I can,
Sure, let's just see, since there
yeah,
was that,
I can forward it to you also.
I'm pretty sure I saw it yesterday. Let's just see.
Um,
Yes, I have it.
You do? Okay. So can I have a motion to adjourn our public meeting?
Move to adjourn our public meeting. I know there's a whole other sentence that is supposed to be there that I don't have in front of me.
I move we adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing individuals or families seeking assistance, the disclosure of which would be a violation of privacy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. See you all in a few minutes.